Subscribe to this channel and like it, thank you. It started on a cold evening, when the wind carried dust across the empty street and the city lights flickered like tired eyes. David held his daughter Mia's hand as they walked home from the grocery store. She was humming softly, swinging the bag with small snacks inside, when suddenly she stopped. "Daddy," she whispered, tugging his sleeve. There, beside the closed bakery, sat a young woman wrapped in an oversized blanket, her knees pulled to her chest. Her face was hidden, but the trembling of her hands was unmistakable. Mia's innocent eyes widened with worry, and she stepped forward before David could stop her, whispering, "She looks so cold." David hesitated, knowing the world wasn't always kind and approaching strangers required caution. But something about the girl felt different, fragile, exhausted, as if she hadn't slept in days. He approached slowly, clearing his throat so she wouldn't be startled. She lifted her head, revealing eyes swollen from crying. "Are you okay?" David asked gently. She forced a smile, the kind people wear when they're used to struggling alone. "I'm fine," she whispered, voice barely stable. But Mia stepped closer, placing her tiny jacket on the girl's lap without waiting for permission. The woman blinked, confused by the gesture. "You must be freezing," Mia said, her voice trembling with empathy. David knelt beside them. "Do you need help? Food? A place to warm up?" The girl hesitated, as if saying yes would burden the world. Finally, she murmured, "My name is Hannah, and I just lost everything." Her hands gripped the blanket tighter. David felt a knot in his chest. He had seen desperation before, but not like this, not through the eyes of someone so young and utterly defeated. Mia looked at her father with pleading eyes. "Daddy, can she stay with us? Just for tonight?" David's heart tightened. He wanted to help, but bringing a stranger home was a big step. Still, Hannah's shivering form, her cracked lips, and the way she struggled to hold back tears made his hesitation feel cruel. She whispered, "I don't want to bother anyone." Mia shook her head. "You're not a bother. You're alone. No one should be alone like this." David slowly nodded, extending his hand. "Come on, let's get you warm." Hannah stood with difficulty, legs weak from hunger. David helped her balance, while Mia carried the blanket as if it were a treasure. They walked home quietly, the sound of their footsteps echoing under streetlights. Hannah kept apologizing softly, but Mia kept reminding her, "You're safe now." When they reached the apartment, the warm air inside made Hannah gasp. It had been so long since she felt anything but cold. They guided her to the sofa, where she sat stiffly as if unsure she was allowed to rest. David brought her warm food, and as she ate slowly, almost fearfully, Mia sat beside her, swinging her legs and watching her like she was the most important person in the room. "Where's your family?" Mia finally asked. Hannah paused, spoon hovering in the air. "Gone," she said softly. "My mother passed last year, my stepfather changed after that. I left when things became unbearable." Her voice cracked, but she quickly wiped her tears, embarrassed. "I've been trying to survive on my own." David exchanged a worried glance with Mia. "You did the right thing by leaving," he said gently. "No one deserves to live in fear." Hannah nodded weakly, but doubt filled her eyes. She wasn't used to kindness, she didn't know where it fit in her world. Mia reached out and held Hannah's hand. "You're strong," she said with unwavering certainty. Hannah looked down at their intertwined hands, overwhelmed. No one had said something that kind to her in years. After dinner, David prepared a small bed in the guest room. The sheets were soft, the pillow fluffed, and Mia placed her favorite stuffed bunny on the blanket. "She needs company," Mia explained. When Hannah stepped into the room, she froze, tears welling up again. "I don't deserve this," she whispered. David placed a hand on her shoulder. "Everyone deserves warmth. Everyone deserves a chance." Hannah pressed her face into her hands, letting the tears fall freely for the first time in a long while. That night, David checked on her quietly. She slept curled up tightly, the bunny held to her chest as though she feared it would be taken away. In the living room, Mia looked up at her dad. "She's scared, Daddy." David nodded. "Yes, but today is the first step." Mia leaned into him. "I hope she stays forever." He kissed her forehead. "Let's help her get better first." Mia nodded, determined to be Hannah's little warrior of comfort. Morning light filled the house with warmth. Hannah emerged cautiously, as if she might be asked to leave at any moment. But Mia ran to her with a bright smile. "Good morning." I made you a drawing. It showed 3 people holding hands, Mia, Hannah, and David. Hannah stared at it, emotional. David served breakfast, noticing how Hannah flinched every time she reached for something, expecting correction or rejection. Relax, he said softly. You're safe here. Hannah nodded, but safety was still a foreign feeling. Over the next few days, Hannah began to open up. She helped with chores, played with Mia, and learned to trust the small joys of normal life. One afternoon, as they baked cookies together, she suddenly paused. I feel guilty, she murmured. For staying, for eating your food, for taking space that isn't mine. David turned off the oven and faced her. You're not taking anything. You're healing. And healing needs space. Mia wrapped her arms around Hannah's waist. We want you here. Hannah's smile grew slowly over the week. She started laughing at Mia's jokes, helping David fix small things around the house, and even applying for part-time jobs with his help. One evening, she sat on the balcony watching the sunset, whispering, I never thought life could feel calm again. David joined her. Sometimes all it takes is a door opening. She looked at him with gratitude so pure it made him pause. Thank you, for opening yours. A week later, Hannah received a call. She got the job. She rushed into the living room, breathless, as Mia screamed with excitement and hugged her tightly. David smiled proudly. See, you're rebuilding. Hannah's eyes sparkled with hope. That night, they celebrated with a small dinner Mia insisted on calling a new life party. They laughed, ate cake, and for the first time in years, Hannah felt like she belonged somewhere. As days passed, Hannah became part of the home naturally. Her walls slowly fell away, replaced by trust. She still carried scars, but now she carried moments of joy too. Mia's drawings, David's encouragement, the safety of a warm room. One night, Hannah whispered to Mia, you saved me. Mia shook her head. Daddy says people save themselves. We just help them remember who they are. Hannah hugged her tightly, touched by the wisdom of a child. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, Hannah looked around the home, her safe place, and whispered, I want to stay, not because I need shelter, but because you feel like family. David smiled. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who choose you. Mia clapped happily. So you're staying forever, right? Hannah laughed, wiping away tears. If you'll have me. And in that small kitchen, surrounded by warmth, they silently agreed. She was already part of their family. Please tell me how you liked the story in the comments. Thank you.